Alright, time for another This Week in Anime number 21. Man, we're making it far here. And now, of course, you already know the rundown. 3 anime. My thoughts, spoilers throughout. Let's get it done. Tokyo Ghoul Route A. This week we have a lot of things going on all over the place, but still not that much. Hinami is keeping herself in good spirits even though she's worried about Kaneki and what he's going through, but all the same she opens up the shop, keeps a smile on her face. The first person that comes to the shop is Shu. Now remember in previous episodes I was wondering what the hell was Shu doing in Aogiri down below there with his crew, and they apparently were infiltrating it, but for what reason? Apparently he is keeping up on Kaneki and being an informant for Yoshimuro, the leader of Antiku. And so now we see that Yoshimuro knows that Kaneki is not actually doing so well. Even though he's not doing so well, Kaneki is still fighting and persevering over in Aogiri, even though he is pretty much raging all over the place. He can't even barely keep a coffee in his hand. And it's getting pretty bad for him. I don't even think he's sleeping at all with all the nightmares and stuff that he's having. So what does he do? Well, he does what anyone would do when they're truly down on their luck and have nowhere else to go. He returns home. He finds himself back in Antiku talking to Yoshimuro. I keep saying Yoshimuro, but I don't know if that's the exact pronunciation for that. The word gets to Toka-chan by Hinami that Kaneki is at Antiku. By the time she arrives, he's already gone. They end up meeting on the bridge, and what does she do? She punches the crap out of him. I'm not even going to get into what that whole scenario, but it was quite funny. And Hinami earlier on in the show was taken to a coffee shop with Shu. She ran into Shu outside of Antiku and she wants to know more about Kaneki, and Shu ends up taking her to a cafe to chat with her and all that. While he disappears for a moment, her favorite author, who I also think is Ito, shows up and they chat a little while, and then she goes to the CCG. She goes to the CCG and rats on Antiku, tells them that they need to check out that coffee shop. Now Yoshimuro is sitting, he's serving coffee to Shinohara and Juzo. And this has gotten nuts, because now, you know, there's no denying that shit has hit the fan. There's no denying that this has gotten to a critical point for Antiku. Shinohara asks the $1 million question, have I seen you before, to Yoshimuro. He denies it. Shinohara knows he's lying, and now Shinohara plans to return to the coffee shop. Man, all I can say is I am just waiting to see what's gonna pop off when Shinohara actually returns to Antiku, and how Yoshimuro and the rest of the gang is going to react. So this is this has gotten critical. I can't wait for next week. Shigatsu wa Kimi no Osu. This anime is just epic, and this week was truly awesome. Nagi and Kosei finally take the stage to do their performance. And what is their performance? Their performance is actually 2 people playing 1 piano. So the way this is going is Kosei is being a support and Nagi is doing the main role. So who's playing what, I'm not exactly sure. I think Kosei was playing mostly the bass tones, the bass notes, and Nagi was doing the other notes that were towards the forefront of the melody. However you want to say that. But it was a really, really, truly awesome performance. Kosei, of course, had to take things a step further and push Nagi. And at first I thought that he was about to do this whole drowning thing, but no, he was in perfect control. He knew what he was doing, and Nagi was able to keep up from all that practicing and blood, sweat, and tears that she put into that piano over the days, and not to mention the tongue lashings from Kosei. And it all came together nicely on stage as she performed well. She kept up. The melody was well put together, and they achieved a standing ovation and all kinds of praise from their peers and family. And so in the backstage area after the performance, Nagi's brother is quite bothered by the fact that, 1, I don't think he knew that Kosei was actually training her. 2, the way she described things to her brother wasn't exactly, it didn't give him that, it didn't help the situation. But all the same, Nagi's brother challenges Kosei to the Eastern Japan tournament, for a musical tournament. So now we know what Kosei's next move, next battle is going to be. However, Kosei is not coming alone. He decided that not only would he play for his special person Kaori, and which Watari opened up his phone and was so Kaori could hear the melody through the phone, and it was truly amazing to see her get up and dance and try to play her violin to the music. It was truly awesome. But Kosei also went a step further, and towards the end of the episode, he asked her to play with him again. And this is crazy. Kaori is very, very sick. So I don't know how exactly they're gonna pull this off. And I'm hoping that this does come together and it doesn't become like a tragedy and she like dies or pass away right before the performance or something. That would just be heartbreaking. But the way that this anime goes, I wouldn't be surprised. Log Horizon. Log Horizon this week was a kind of a touching kind of episode. It wasn't so much action as it was something that kind of makes you think. And this was an episode that its purpose was literally to drag you further into the story, into the world that Log Horizon is, and that it is placed in. And how they did it this week is they talked a little more about the character's mindset and what exactly is going on in these people's heads after they get stuck in this game. So at the beginning of the episode, Nyanta drops down on the train coming from Plant Hwyaden, and he runs into Londark. Londark is the bodyguard per se for the train, and Londark is pretty much taking up quests with no true consequence. He doesn't really think about the consequences of what he's doing or how is it hurting the people or anything like that, because to him it's a game and he's stuck in it even though he doesn't want to be. So he's just gonna do whatever the heck he wants. Nyanta, of course, is against that ideal, but Londark is not the only one that's in this kind of a twisted state of mind. Nyanta was not only fighting Londark, but he was also fighting General Trudy, and General Trudy is gone clean off her head, just sunken into madness. All she wants to do is fight and die, if possible. And she was pushing Nyanta as much as possible to kill her as they got caught up in the heat of battle and all over the place. And so as that battle is going on, Toya is still fighting against the Odyssey Knights and fighting against their suicide ideal and trying to keep the battle. He was trying to keep the battle out of the city, but that obviously didn't work. The Wyverns have torn up the town completely and turned into a straight disaster zone. The Junior Log Horizon and Nyanta are pretty much at wit's end fighting against these people, and they're not really fighting against the people as they're fighting against their choices of their mindset and their ideas of how they have pretty much given up humanity, given up their reality of things and chosen to just be 100% their characters, their video game characters. And it's really, really weird because the Odyssey Knights are killing themselves just so they can have a glimpse of the real world again in that moment when they die. Londark is just forgetting. He just pretty much given up on everything, doesn't really care anymore. He's just gonna do whatever he wants, no matter who it hurts, no matter what happens. He's just gonna do everything according to the quest of the game. General Trudy is fighting just to be fighting. She doesn't care what happens. She doesn't care if she gets killed because nobody can die because it's a video game. So she's just fighting. And then my question to all of this is, how will these people handle reality again? How will these people handle themselves when they're freed from the game? Because the mindset they've been in for so long, or will be in for longer before the game is ever resolved, and this problem with them being stuck is ever resolved, is just crazy, and it's the mindset of a nutcase. So that's my question, is how the heck will these people handle reality again if ever they're freed? And that, I think, is what the Log Horizon members are worried about when people start doing things like this. Now, that is not the only thing that happened in this episode. Because of all the chaos, Road 2 released an awesome summon to fight the wyverns and start to clean up the town a bit. Suzu did a nice little song, and I actually have no idea what this song is supposed to do, but she sung it. It was okay. It wasn't as epic as they were kind of hyping it up a little bit to be when she ran up on the roof and started her little singing. But it's nice. It happened. So all these things happened this week in Log Horizon. And I don't know how this anime is going to go. I mean, right now it's going kind of slow. But apparently they're hinting at the fact that a war is coming. So we'll see how things go next week. And how Toya and the rest of the junior crew handles the fact that now their journey is pretty much over. And I want to see exactly what they've been challenging for this whole time. It's supposed to be some kind of treasure or whatever the heck it is. So maybe we'll see what that is next week as well. Alright, that's it. That's all for this week in anime number 21. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And don't forget, there is a ton more details at the link below that leads you to the written article, so you can read more about all the different stories I talked about today, and also a few other anime that happened this week as well. So don't forget to check me out on my social media websites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm all over the place. Thank you if you're subscribed or liked or any of my content. I honestly do appreciate it, and I hope you come back for more. There'll definitely be more tech videos coming up this coming week, so I will see you then. You have a good one. Bye.